China's been one of those markets that's been kind of itching for games. So really, once a lot of the restrictions have gone up, like developers have started kind of inching their way in, and they kind of started analyzing what the market is. It's not exactly the Western market, as ArenaNet, the guys behind Guild Wars 2, have kind of noticed that Chinese players tend to lean more towards MMORPGs. They start to lean more towards games like Age of Wushu and Black Gold and those types of games. So ArenaNet saw an opportunity to kind of jump into that market, and they decided to go ahead and release Guild Wars 2 out there earlier this year. And it's actually worked out really well for them. While they still have like a hardcore North American and European market, the Chinese players are really passionate. I mean, Randall Price, the SVP for Global Business, talked to me about the whole thing, and he said that quote, "China is the largest online gaming market in the world. Chinese players love MMOs. They're really passionate and informed, and it was kind of a no-brainer for them to just jump into that market." For Western developers, the idea is you really need to know your audience. I mean, that's the kind of adjustment that ArenaNet has had to make with Guild Wars 2, is at least they knew what they were getting into. They kind of saw what kind of games they're into, and they decided, hey, our game kind of fits that mold. And for Western developers, that's going to be a little bit tougher, because they're essentially trying to market something different over to that audience. The Call of Duty and the Gears of War types are not really going to work over in China, because they're a different type of gamer. They're a different type of audience, and really I think that it's going to be a much tougher sale. Going back to what Randall Price said, he also added that, quote, "For any game company going into China, you need to conduct extensive testing and research with players. You need to be willing to let the results from those tests influence your development decisions." They've kind of done that with Guild Wars 2 in the sense that they haven't exactly catered towards that market, but they've definitely let it linger in the back of their minds when crafting updates and crafting whatever they have going forward. And I think it's going to be a little bit tougher for Western markets, because their priority is the North American player, is the European player, even the Australian player to an extent. China's a relatively young market, and I think because they want different things, I'm not sure that Western developers are going to be necessarily aiming towards them, or even have them in mind when they're creating their next game or their next sequel or the next DLC or what have you.